Hi guys, and we are starting in a few minutes. I'm going to put a music on until we all get together. It's not 11 yet, so I just want to give that chance to those who are kind of like targeting for 11. So here we go. And until in the meantime, please tell me where are you from, what sign you are, so we kind of like can focus on your energies. So let's start. Hi guys, how are you? Hopefully everybody is okay. So I'm going to just give it a few more minutes because I am just starting. Want to see who is here from my mods. Where the heck is my Dino? He's like supposed to be in charge today. I still don't see him. I'm just going to give him a few more minutes to come in, and hopefully Lati will be here. So let me see who is in the house. We have lots of US. Look at this, Vegas. You guys are so early. Like, I mean, and I'm still working on my morning coffee. So let's see. Oh, your teacher, Brooke. Okay, awesome. I guess, do you speak Spanish, or I guess you'll be teaching English, but it's also really good to pick up something. Hi, Temperance Rising. Everybody is so far here. So guys, this is going to be, and I don't know for how long I can extend this, but I am definitely dedicated to do it for a month. There is Dean. Hello, Dean. Hello, Lati. I was just mentioning both of you. So I was just about to go through this, and it's great that they're there. Lati was the last time who gave a 15-minute reading for the person who actually was participating, but unfortunately he or she did not contact me. So in the meantime, since that was kind of like a fluke, I came into my airhead and I was like saying, let's do that. We didn't really think through it. So how we are going to do that, the person has to be on live when it is given. Today, Dean is going to be in a charge. Is that okay, Dean, with you? And he is going to pick randomly. He can pick it up in 2 minutes, in 5 minutes, in 50 minutes, whatever, right? And participation is always great. So even if you're just listening, just like type hi so we know that you are there. So each weekend a different moderator is going to be assigned randomly, and you know, I will kind of like maybe announce it a week ahead so you know that you can be there. And another thing that's going to happen, because my moderators are working so hard, I will be actually doing every 2 weeks 15 minutes for my moderators, and they're going to get their free readings, and I'm going to pick that one myself. And since Lati is kind of like the most active one so far, she is the first one to go. So she needs to contact me and do it. But moderators cannot give a free reading to another moderator. They can just give it to you. So there you go. It is just like rules that, you know, you can do it. So I guess you can kiss up to Dean if you wish to. But I really don't think that's going to get you anywhere, because his ascendant is Libra and he's just simply going to be fair. So there you go. So guys, I am using my new deck here that has been sitting also for a while. I have so many decks that are sitting. I'm just waiting for my cream to kind of like soak into my hands and not to touch it with this. And if it doesn't go away in a second, I'm just going to go and wipe them off. Actually, let me do that. Let me wipe this off with something. It's kind of like the best cream I have found. It's just a little bit staying greasy for a little bit too long. So today we are in Virgo season. Officially we are out of Mercury retrograde, but we are still in the shadow, so stuff is still going to happen. I'm still having, hello Bianca, stuff chasing me from the past, and so I just can't wait 1 more week. It's almost like over. So because it is Virgo season, we are going to start with Earth this time around. Can you see how this is kind of like my cream? That was not a good idea. You see, Dean, you cannot have it preconceived who you're going to pick up, and that's the whole idea, that you just have to simply be fair, and you kind of like have to really gauge the situation. So now you can see how difficult it is for me to do that. It's just like I was initially putting all this kind of like names in the little hat and pull it out, and it was like just too much work in the end. So friend Lati, there you go. Women don't like to be called buddies, because immediately kind of like suggests, oh, you know, you're like just masculine. So that's kind of like, I think, probably the thing behind it. So okay, so which cards do I use for the main one? Well, let's use this one. So Earth. Hi Earth. Hi Earth. Hi Earth. Hi Neka. Happy birthday. Well, that's very nice. I have also another friend whose birthday is today. Okay, Earth. Earth. Creation words per live session. Okay, cat. The name for cat is Machka, and you would tell it to a pretty woman. Hey Machko. It's kind of like difficult language because it has 7 cases, so it's the same word but it has a different ending. So Machka, I'm going to spell it for you. It has a special, that would be cat. There you go. That's the most important thing. And tarot is hello tarot, and it's kind of like the same. Let me teach you another word which some of you who speak French already know, which is a creation word. Creations invented a word for tie. In fact, they invented tie, and I guess you didn't know. Creations also invented pen. Creations also invented 220 electricity, DC, AC/DC kind of a thing. There are more things. So pen is a pen, and it was the guy whose name is Penkala, and that's where the name comes from. So just to let you know. So I see you know some Croatian words. So thanks for asking. Cat is Machka, that's right. So we have, oh my gosh, I always see this card as Virgo, and it's kind of coming in Virgo season in Earth reading. You guys are getting grounded. You guys are going to enjoy this week. Let me see. Oops. There you go. Everything is getting kicked. So this is kind of like really interesting, guys. You kind of like have the strength reversed. Initially, when I looked at it, I thought, why the heck is this coming out? So I guess you're going to be very lusty this week. You're going to kind of like start feeling, oh my gosh, you know, like, I mean, so and so is like so pretty, but I don't think you'll be committing to anything, and that's why strength is coming out. It almost like looks like either you're releasing somebody or you're opening all your possibility and all your options, but you're not really looking for anything super serious right now. And the strength means kind of like you're weak in your knees, so it's going to be, from what I see, a very, very interesting week. And simply, you're going to be really, really enjoying yourself. So it's going to be super, super, super sweet. So let's start with Virgo. Virgo, 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 Virgo. And something is coming here. Wow, look at this. 10 of Pentacles. And also Page of Pentacles. I better shuffle this. Does this shuffle through? I think I did. So Virgo, you're going to feel, look at how lovely this card is. And you see nothing here because I kicked my stand. Is this better now? Let me just see it. Come on. Look at me. Look at me. I'm not even looking at my own screen. See? That's why I missed what you guys are saying. There it is. It's better. A little bit better. So Virgo, what is basically this saying? It's saying that, look at this lovely card, that you're kind of like feeling at peace, and there is like that culmination, you know, like when you work toward creating a party and then everything is on the table, all you have to do is like, you know, to sit and enjoy it. And that's pretty much where you're at. Like, you're feeling there is like a sense of accomplishment, but there is also going to be the sense, hey, you know, I'm going into something else. And that can be really connected to your birthday. That can be connected to, you know, these celebrations that are just going to be ahead of you. It just like, it feels right, it feels grounded, and it feels like, hey, you know what, look at this, I actually did a pretty good job. This is really, really positive. You have 9, 10, 1. It's kind of like going in a completely new direction. So I'm going to shuffle a little bit more now. So we are going to go Taurus next. Taurus. Taurus. How many Tauruses do we have over here? And please, guys, please hit this like button. That kind of like helps, so I know how many of you were over there. Okay. Taurus. 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 Nika, thank you. It's kind of hard when you have like two ends. Taurus. 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 Hi, Oksana. Nice to see you. Taurus. Taurus. Taurus, 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 Taurus. This one wants to come out. 4 of Cups. What's up, Taurus? What's up, Taurus? You're having all these options, but I guess I just don't feel like doing it. Let's see, Taurus. But oh my gosh. Guys, you need to look up. Absolutely. Look at her. She's not looking up. And if she looks up, look what she would see. She would see somebody offering love. Isn't this kind of like silly to look down? So, if you're in a fall mood this week, Taurus, I just like say you really need to look up. You really need to get out of funk, any funk that you might actually be in, and it's going to be the time to really cheer up, and that cheering up is going to be in a big fashion. This is a totally cool person, and it's kind of like doing stuff. So literally for you to get out of any kind of like bad mood, look at those cups are overflowing, and somebody actually just might be there who is going to kind of like lead into romance. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. And thanks Lati for reminding me. It's always really good to check your ascendant and your moon sign at a very minimum. So who I didn't cover? Capricorn. 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 Lamp Shanks. Gosh, I love lamp. Oh my gosh, Capricorn, you have the star. And you Capricorns did not have good reading in quite a while. Any Capricorns in the house? Capricorns? Capricorns? Look at that. 2 majors. And it's over. You're finally shaking it off. Whatever it was going on, whatever kind of like you needed to address, it looks like you were literally going through the mud for some kind of reason, and now there is like this essence of, hey, you know, I'm feeling better. I can kind of like release it. The Judgment to me is, first of all, karma card, and it is kind of like talking about his past, not just in this life, kind of past lives, past lives, past lives, past lives. And it's kind of clearance, like, let's kind of clean the slate. Some karma is being released over here, and it's kind of like moving in a new direction, and hence all the options opening. This is actually absolutely lovely for all of you. All of you. I'm just a little bit worried that Taurus is going to be sort of like walling in their own stuff, and all I'm saying, if you're there, you need to really kind of like look up, because things will change dramatically for you just like that. Somebody told me, oh, you know, you're just saying, well, just like you're still suffering about somebody, and then how can you have somebody else showing up? Very simple. There is like the beginning and end of everything. We live in the world of energy, and hence it can happen just like that, right? That at one point it has to end, and it's much easier to end when, you know, there's somebody else. I think Mae West said the best way of moving on or moving away from somebody is to get under somebody else. So, I mean, take it for what it is. It's a pretty good statement. So, okay, so let's see. The next one would be who? Let's open it up. Am I still using angel oracle cards? Yes, thank you. Let me pull a few. I completely forgot about it. Okay, here they are. Let's pull a few for, who is first? Virgo. Strength. Interestingly, the strength card was reversed. So you guys are working on your patience, and you guys are working on, I think, inner strength, given that you had this, like, I mean, 10 of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles over here. So you're kind of like really feeling in your own element, and that's kind of going to be really important. And the next one was Taurus. And Taurus, let's see how to heal that melancholy. Integrity. And maybe you don't want to jeopardize something. Maybe you are kind of like wondering about somebody else's actions, or sometimes people take the worst out of you, and kind of like that's kind of like being put back in order. And the last one, Capricorn. Let's see Capricorn with like two majors. Honesty. You know what? The first thing that I got was honesty with yourself, and that's why the healing can happen. It is like once when you face your own demons, your own problems, that the healing starts to happen, because then you're understanding how you're coming across to the other people. And questioning yourself is okay as long as it doesn't go too deep, and as long as it kind of like doesn't have a stop. But this kind of like really means that having that 180 and 360, and kind of like understanding how we affect the other people, because you're actually releasing everything from the past. So here, Lati, you were following through. Who did here? Who's next? Which element is next? Who was here, like, I mean, saying the most? Let's see. Which element am I going to guys have next? Let me just look, because I did ask you a question and then I switched back to angel cards. I have air. I have air. Okay, so air was kind of like coming across, of course. So air is next. Air. Oh my God. Air, Wow, that card was like on the bottom a couple of times, and I just like kept pushing it back. So you know what, air, like this is like flying through the air, fire flying through the air. That might be some kind of like really exciting news that air is going to receive. And that generally sometimes talks about love arrows. So we are going to see, air. And there we have another air, Ace of Swords. It's one of my favorite cards. And the reason why it is one of my favorite cards, first of all, it's one of my karma cards. And that's why I kind of like included this one, which kind of like it's not belonging to the major arcana. But this one is talking about really being totally kind of like understanding, being in sync with the destiny and being ready to go for that big whoosh. Because this kind of blade has, first of all, is appearing out of nowhere. And here it's kind of like that victory, but the victory is over ourselves and over like somebody else, right? So here we are kind of like really understanding our positioning in life and who we are, and we are really ready to take off, feeling good. Air, this kind of like really looks good so far. Okay, air, and here this one wants to come out. Oh my gosh, this is really wonderful. In this kind of like daily readings, I get all the upright cards. It's amazing. So here we are talking about something that air needs to do. I think if air was sitting on their butt and doing nothing, that is what's going to change. It's going to be lots of activity. It's going to be lots of different things. If you're having an eye on someone, you will actually go and try to sit with them, try to talk with them, try to see if there is like this connection. Because I don't know how much you guys know about air. Maybe Libra is a little bit modified, but most air signs, they're not going to feel very complimented if you tell them they're pretty. Okay, fine, yeah, sure, I know, kind of a thing, right? But if you tell them, oh my gosh, you're really, you know that subject, oh, you're so smart, that's going to be, hey, like you get my attention, kind of a thing. But also air really knows if you're just flattering or if you're kind of like doing that, because it's kind of like really what has been the part of the subject. And it looks like here it is. The stars are aligning. Certain things are really working out. And we are going in a good direction. So let's start with Aquarius. Because usually Aquarius is always last. So Aquarius. Yeah. The Hierophant, something, of course, Aquarius and something conventional never works really well. And look at how they positioned this particular thing over here. That's like really talking about finding solutions that are not, it's weird, I just like pull up to see it. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Aquarius is having some kind of like weird ideas. If there is like somebody new, then it's going to be very unconventional. Be very careful, Aquarians, though, because they're like, again, love arrows. Aquarians may be really smitten with somebody, but be very careful that somebody could be going through separation, that somebody might be going through divorce. And even though the love might be there, it's not going to be without complexities that I actually see over here. Let's see clarification over here. Aquarius. And Aquarius is getting strength. So strength is being really needed over there. And strength card generally talks about commitment. So I would really clarify that. And that's why the Ace of Swords is here. It's going to be, look, are you divorcing? Are you not divorcing? Prove it to me. Sort of like, I really need to talk to her to see that it's over. Because so many people just like, they fall and immediately kind of like they're divorcing, where that's not the case. So, or it's going to be something very unconventional, or something that is going to be just totally weird, and you're going to feel very, very liberated in this particular thing. Just be very careful. Again, as I was just saying, people like to be complimented on basically their intellect. In this particular case, it's going to have a certain level of vanity. So it's going to be certain level of kind of like really, really extreme sexual attraction. So let's see. Let's go with Gemini next. Gemini, and something. Whoa, Gemini. Whoa, that's the wheel. And Gemini, this is like one of, again, karma cards. So you're getting 2 karma cards. That's the one of, hey, big changes are coming in front of you. You have accomplished the cycle of destiny, and right now you're on top. You will be on the top this next week. And look at this double whammy. And that's kind of like straight, like a streak. And it's really, really important right now to really think in that direction, kind of like, where do I really want to go? So that kind of like ideas will be really, really fruitful, So, and look, you're also getting the moon, and this one wants to come. Maybe you're dealing with somebody, I didn't clarify those aces, I better do that. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who is making you wonder. Maybe there is like some emotional positioning over here that has to happen. It's kind of like interesting that you do have that twin flame, kind of karmic soulmate kind of like stuff in here. The moon is always kind of like talking about our perception being skewed, our perception kind of like being a little bit off, and it's basically warning not to kind of like jump to any kind of like huge conclusions to anything. So let me see this Ace of Swords. See this like seedling, where is that seedling going? And then we're going to clarify our Ace of Cups, which means there is like this refreshment of relationship, and there is like this feeling of something is really going in a good direction. You guys are actually, looks like, if you are with somebody going to the next level, or kind of like trying to clear that illusions, trying to clear anything that is sort of like standing in the way. So first let me check that Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is gift. Interestingly, because this card can be gift as well. So gift for you guys is going to be some immense clarity, immense understanding of the situation. It's kind of like, you know, when you are collecting the puzzles and everything kind of like fits into place, and that's what I see. And why is this Ace of Cups here? Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. Yes, guys, please say hi, say something that you are here, that we know you're in the house. Yeah. So why is this Ace of Cups? Conversation. So if you guys have somebody, it's clearly you're going to meet somebody through conversation. Well, duh, how else do we meet somebody? You just don't look at each other like in the movies and kind of like go and run into the sunset, of course. But this actually simply can mean that some beginning is going to really depend on kind of like deep conversation and understanding how things have to change, what needs to be resolved over there. That kind of like would make more sense to me. So let's see an angel card for this. Efficiency. That doesn't really sound like Gemini to me. But oh my gosh, Lati is now helping me with my Instagram, and boy, she's like so efficient. I think she's Gemini. So this kind of like tells me kind of like organizing something that for you can work. It's kind of like not talking about how to get the most energy out of your fridge. It's taking like, I mean, basically something toll on you, something that you maybe are realizing that was a drain, and it kind of like really didn't make sense. And you are going to make actually more or less emotional decision. You're going to think through, you already have been thinking through, but it's going to be emotional decision. It's going to be messages all over the place, guys, for all air signs. That's going to be really, really, really interesting. So oh, really? You're going to say so, me? Okay, that's cute. Okay, so now the next one is Libra. Libra. Something flicked here. Ooh, Knight of Wands. Libra. Let me get one more. I got the Empress and I got the King of Wands. Libra, you're like in the full seductive mode. It's just like full seduction. Somebody, you're going to have, look at that, two guys wooing for your attention. It's kind of like, who do I pick? This guy is like so sexy and look at his muscles, but this guy, you know, he kind of is doing so many stuff. You're having this kind of like fire signs around you, but the fire signs usually show up when we are dating, when kind of like we are doing stuff, right? Like before we kind of end up being on a couch watching a movie, right? So this is kind of like, let's go play this mini golf, let's kind of like go somewhere. Be very careful because you might actually make the wrong decision. The Fool card here is talking about misuse of trust. So maybe this is also warning to you that maybe one of these kind of like people could be taken with, maybe they don't want to share you and kind of like just pull this underneath you. I do have to tell you that one, that you might find sexier, that you might find kind of like more exciting. So to kind of like really boil down, as I said, it could be fire sign, but like we all are fire when we are dating. But one actually is not here for you to stay. You kind of like really, and this is what basically, by the way, your card, the Empress is ruled by Venus, and Venus is also ruling Libra and Taurus. So, but the other one is really kind of like being there for you. So which one was that? That was, which one did we do that? Taurus, right? Taurus was like that. It's kind of interesting because I think it's almost even connecting here. You guys actually could have somebody really right coming in your life. This is a really, really good combo. Somebody who is very active, somebody who is in a really good shape, and somebody who is not taking life easily, sort of like maybe takes life one day at a time because every day is an adventure. But it's also somebody really accomplished, somebody you want to really look up to, and which is kind of like good for this Empress. But you are going to feel like the Empress sitting on a throne, probably very creative, dressed really well, and so on and so forth. So hello everybody who showed up. Hello Bridget, how is everybody? Hi Sally, didn't see you. So let's get a clarifier here. Balance. Oh my god, balance for Libra. Do I even need to explain this? Yes guys, it's like too much of a good thing. In particular this particular week, it's just like so amazing. Look at this, gifts are pouring. Are you guys declaring to have birthdays like right now in Virgo season? Like this is just amazing. It's just like really sucks to be you, I have to tell you. This is really telling you, look, the overindulgence can actually end up like in some kind of like stuff that might not end up well. So choose wisely. That's all I can say over here. So let's see. Okay, panel, we have water, and what else do we have? Fire. Which one are we going to do next? Which one are we doing next? Balance. I know I'm Libra rising and I'm always out of balance continuously, just like every day. Today's the day, today's the day, today I'm going to eat better, today I'm going to do this, and then like for a day I do it, okay, and then the next day, oh, never mind. So it's kind of interesting. I guess we are doing water because the water just jumped at me and this whole thing jumped at me. So that I think is talking about water. So let's do that. I think water, this is your reading coming out here, and we're going to do it the other way around here. So King of Cups, that's the first thing that I saw, and look at that, Ace of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Page of Pentacles. Wow, it's everything. Oh my gosh, I should write a book about this. Seven of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and Seven of Cups. Why is this so intense for you, water? Like you're going through everything. Look at this, from shooting this love arrows to, oh my gosh, you know, like somebody is just grabbing wherever they can grab from me. Be very careful. Like there's going to be people around you this month. This is my most hated card. If I were to do my reading for my ex, this card would show up. It's just like no fail. 78 cards, 3 cards reading, 1 card reading, this card would show up. And that to me, even though the card can mean few things, it could mean somebody going and grabbing what is theirs. This card always talks to be about trickery, about somebody with indecent motives, somebody who is just grabbing just for the sake of grabbing, you know. And I don't really think that a person is really even thinking through all these emotions. This is just like one of those cards that people, I would say natively, but I don't think that's the best word to use, that people kind of like just choose kind of like these different things, right? So maybe their sense of security is shaken and they don't really care that they're taking from somebody else who might also have huge issues. It's really frequently suggesting the presence of dishonest people and people who will take advantage of the situation. And that's to me also the card when people gaslighting is in this card. Look, like, I mean, well, I'm not taking this. Like, you know, this Bart Simpson's, nope, it wasn't me. Like, you know, he has a slingshot in his hand. No, I didn't break this window. So that definitely talks about that somebody causing loss. And it looks to me that you guys were the ones shooting those arrows, and somebody is just grabbing things. To me, and again, we have an ace over here. So this is really lovely. This is definitely you guys. You are here. You're offering this like big cup of love right over here. And this guy here is not shown, it's shown like Pisces in this particular deck. And there's like this new path that is going somewhere. This is like best ace to get. It is something long term, but like, I mean, at the same time, you're like really hesitant, because the Page of Pentacles pages are just like aces basically. And look at this, back and forth, and then looks like redefining what the heck happened, because this also tells me that there could be some kind of attraction with somebody, but you're questioning the nature of this attraction. Yes, you guys are very, I would not say sexual, well, Scorpio maybe is sensual, I would say. But if you feel that somebody there is just for sex, I think you would lose any interest, because it has to be a little bit more for you than just like, I mean, bare bones hopping and jumping, and kind of like you're definitely questioning here somebody's attitudes and somebody's kind of like goings. And maybe you're putting somebody in the friend zone, or maybe you have a friend, trusted friend, to recover from the situation and kind of like start opening some kind of like new options and new situations. This is a really biggie, actually. I don't mind this card for the main part of the reading, I have to say. I was a little bit, I had Thelema, and now I got this one. It's a little bit improvement on Thelema. So let me just check that Ace of Pentacles. Yes, lightness. So something was really heavy on you, and I can see it in this card. Like, you need to reach a decision, and it's really not easy for you to do that. The decision is like so hard, and this card is like complete fail in terms of tarot. The moon is supposed to be on one side, because that's kind of that intuitive. Sometimes we are guided, and especially you guys, water, you're really guided in that intuitive sense. But here, like, it's maybe rational and irrational decision, kind of like almost like having the same kind of like weight. And the only good news over here is like that she's carrying the swords a little bit better. She can actually withhold that kind of like, what is that word for it, when you are not sure, indecision, in not indecision, when you're going through the fog and you kind of like can't really know what's going on, like suspension, kind of like of what the heck is going to happen. Cannot think of the word for the life of me. So there is like absolutely asking of you to lift this kind of like burdens off, kind of like make a decision. But it looks like that you're going to make, any decision that you make is going to end the same way. So there you go. Indecisive. No, it's not indecisive. It is, Jesus, why is this word No, it's not indecisive. That's she's not indecisive. She's very decisive. She just knows that each decision would be really, really wrong. So no, when somebody's keeping you in a situation that you don't know what's going to happen, and not because they're indecisive, so sort of like you're really depending on their own decision. Cannot think of it. It's going to come to me later. So let's see now. Who do we start first? Let's go with Scorpio. Scorpio is what cat is what sign? I'm Aquarius with Libra rising and Leo moon. That kind of like is my main thing. So Scorpio. Oh my gosh, like what's going on with water? It's like it's like cards are all day. Oh my gosh, look at that, look at that, look at this card. Jesus, I'm having goosebumps right now. Scorpio, what's up? Do we have Scorpio in the house? Be very, very careful. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh my gosh, guys, like we have spirits over here. This is weird. Oh my god. Are you having goosebumps too right now? Like, I mean, that's even weird for me, and I can tolerate weird. So also, guys, you know, 7 and 7, 14. Which card is 14? Temperance. Sagittarius. There is, like, again, the same story, the friendship that is being affected, somebody grabbing, taking away, and the need is over here to kind of like get out of the situation, open out your options, kind of go in a different direction. And I don't know like which way this kind of like came through it, but I guess it's going to be exactly the same as here. That's kind of going to be direction, and doesn't matter how you shuffle it, doesn't matter how you cut it, Scorpio. It looks like you need to get away from the situation that, as I said, there was some indecency over here, and look at that, somebody is looking and running away in a different direction. So there is like some new, it's going to be really not a good week. You guys don't like people doing that to you, and this kind of like is definitely betraying the trust, and you're going to feel double whammy. But I think that's it. You're kind of like moving on in opening different opportunities, but this also can be daydreaming. This also can mean still hoping for the best, so be very careful about that. So let me just see it like sneaking quietly to another relationship. That's a good point, Lati, but I see it very more sinister. It's like somebody taking whatever they can grab, right? Because he's not taking these two swords because he cannot grab them. They also point that most people kind of don't see it in this card. In this card, he's carrying that sort of in the same thing, he's protected, but look, he is going to bloody all his hands. So that can mean that somebody doesn't care if something happened to them. They just like simply wanted something bad for you, right? So if I cannot have it, you cannot have it, kind of a thing. That's kind of like what can be then there. So let me just see. Scorpio, openness. Well, the Knight of Pentacles is also talking about openness and kind of like being very grounded. Knight of Pentacles is not necessarily sexy attitude. It's kind of like, look, you know, I am taking your words with you. I am taking everything that I know your bad sides, and I'm still there with you. And that's kind of like, look, that's who I am. That's what I want to do. It might be that kind of like conversation along those lines, slow and steady. And I want somewhere to go, and that we kind of like work this together. So the openness is going to be the key, and I think this card also talks about openness, that kind of like be very careful of all these options, because something can look greener in the neighbor's garden, but that's not necessarily the best option. It could be illusion. In one of my cat decks, this card is shown with a kitty chasing those air balloons, you know, and each balloon kind of looks like, wow, there's something going on here. The moment when you touch it, it just like explodes, right? So it's kind of interesting. So a sip of coffee. I hope everybody else is having a coffee. So who are we doing next? Let's go with Pisces. If you want a dependable water sign, go for Cancer. Scorpio men aren't very reliable. Well, I don't know if you can generalize this, Dean, because just like my general readings here, just general, not everything has to resonate. And sometimes the energy is stronger, sometimes it's less strong, right? So it also depends the combination of the things that you have in you that kind of like would do that. So it's when some readers say, oh, I just hate this sign or hate that sign. Well, you know, so you just cannot go with this, right? Because you have great Geminis, you have bad Geminis. So look, you have Donald Trump and you have Elizabeth Warren, right? So you can debate it, which one is worse, which one is not worse, but like, I mean, they're like way different being in the same sign. Or I don't know, somebody told me about Libra. So you have Serena Williams, you have John Lennon, but you also, I think, have Stalin and Putin. So I don't know, was it Stalin Libra or Taurus? I don't remember well right now. So Oksana, my ex-husband was Scorn, I think. He's a bit of a mop. I could easily overpower him. I'm Aqua. Well, Aqua is very strong. Aqua is a masculine sign. That's the reason for it. So Aqua girls need to find a really strong man. Otherwise, you know, we turn them into sissies. Not because we want to, just the way we kind of basically behave, unfortunately. So, Pisces. Oh my gosh. And why did I take these cards? Anyway, I'm being just guided. I guess the Hermit and Strength and 5 of Pentacles. What's going on? The Fool, and all of them are upright. You guys are all over the place. You're like swimming in all directions, but I really think that this is kind of like giving me the background that you kind of like took a step back from something, that took a step back from maybe issues that have been bothering you, and tried to figure out your own truth, not to kind of like listen the input of what other people, girlfriends and friends, say to you. Oh, you know, F that and F that. No, what does it work for me, and is this even sustainable, kind of a thing, right? So then we have 5 of Pentacles, which definitely talks about, look, she is just trying to kind of like feel that warmth and that kind of like feeling. It's kind of like being out of the cold. It looks like there is somebody here who does not want to stay, but you know, you're still kind of like seeing some kind of potential. Of course, Pisces always see potential. I think when I did my ex series readings for Pisces, it was just like that. Guys, stop being Pisces for a second. Not everybody is nice, kind of a thing. And Pisces get very annoyed. Oh my gosh, bad Pisces is something to watch, really, because imagine like you're giving them giving everything, and then people abuse you. Of course you get ticked off to the max. But look, this is really talking about, and this is a lovely card. I don't know if you can see it, there is a push and pull over here. Establishing boundaries. You kind of like are really so focused on your end goal that almost looks like things will sort of like magically work out for you. It might be a little kind of like dip in the fortunes somewhere around Monday, Tuesday, but all of a sudden it's going to be, look, I want this. Why can't we focus about doing something together? Kind of like having this common dream and establishing, putting your foot down. It's going to be really important that you actually show your own strength, because then it's going to be just completely new phase and going in a new direction. So yeah, you're going to have also something that is going to feel, oh my gosh, it's never going to work out. This person is never going to be tamed. But you're going to follow your own drum and follow your own beat to go in this direction. So let's see. Pisces. Clarity. Yeah, it could be clarity. And that was a clarity, especially not looking it from the other people. You might ask some questions, and when you get these answers, they're not going to be the answers that you're hoping to get. But you will continue nonetheless. And that's kind of like interesting, because most of us would not continue, and continuing is actually going to be rewarded in your case. So that's kind of like really, really lovely. Okay, so now, who I didn't do it? Cancer. Let's do Cancer. 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 Whoa. Cancer. And that also flicked on King of Cups to kind of give me clues. Cancer. Page of Wands. Cancer, be very careful of people who can be sneaky. You're getting that message as well, right? Because now we are out of out of the sevens, and that's about the same thing, if maybe even worse. You're getting a different 7 here. So you're also being told to activate, but to be very careful of people who are making promises, especially if something sounds to be too good to be true. It is too good to be true. Do not go in that direction. This is clearly saying Magician is a lovely, lovely, lovely card. But just think about Magician as a machine. You put a coin in a machine, like a jukebox. Whatever you put it in, it's going to play good music or bad music, right? But this person is just simply delivering wherever it's being asked of. But when it's reversed, it's delivering bad messages. And this is like the rock star who becomes a rock star so he can just like sleep with women, and then they get him pregnant, and then no, I'm too big for that, right? That's kind of like who's going to talk about that narcissistic, megalomaniac, you know, self-absorbed kind of like person, and it's going to be, I am so important, kind of like not the process what they do, but I am. And it might be that you might have a creature in your life like that, and that simply you probably will just walk off, because again you also have a 7. You don't even, you see, I don't know about you guys, but when I stop talking about the subject, I'm done. Like the moment when you hear me debating and dealing with the subject, I guess to some level, on some level, I still want it to work out. But the moment when I stop, just fine, whatever. Okay, yeah, sure, I'm horrible. Yes, I'm awful. Yeah, fine, bye bye. That kind of like means it's literally over. That to shut me down, it's tough. And that's kind of like, to me, this card where, look, I'm not even going in this direction, I couldn't care less, and you're going off in your own kind of like path, a little bit faster than the other water signs. So let me just see. Magician is actually probably more worse than actually 7 of Swords, because 7 of Swords, the difference being both being air signs. Of course, air signs can concoct a whole bunch of stuff that can go in all directions. The reason is here, this person, the fact that he is turning back, looking back, he knows he's doing something wrong. These guys don't care. There is like still emotional. You can still appeal to emotions. So if somebody captures you, you know how they say you have to keep saying your name, you have to keep talking about your life in order to kind of like try to push that empathy button somewhere. But not with this fellow. It doesn't work that way. No such button. So let's see. Intention. That's the Magician. It is the intention. And look at this, like playing golf and trying to hit that. So be careful about, I would say, somebody else's intentions, and at the same time, make sure that other people and their proposals and their ideas are in sync wherever you're going. I really have to say this for all water signs. This is not the nicest thing to say, but be very careful of the other people this week. Really be careful. I think Pisces will deal the best because they're going to just like shut down the outside world for a couple of days, maybe this weekend, and before you kind of like swim out from whatever the nook you found. For the Scorpio, it's going to be intense, and so will be for Cancer. Very interesting. I can't wait to see a report next week. We are going to see that. Okay, so who is next? We have only one thing we didn't cover, and that's fire. Oh my gosh, I wish I have a better voice. I wish I can draw better. Like, there are a few things in life that I feel I'm missing, those better things in life that I'm not talented in. So let me see. You love cats. I actually spoke to, well, didn't speak to Safi. I sort of like spoke to the air because I don't know where the hell she is. And I asked her to join us. And I guess she doesn't care. Safi, Safi, do you want to join us, please? Safi. Nope. Nope. She just decided. Usually when I speak to her today before, it's kind of like freaky. She shows up. But today, she's completely putting me on ignore. Ever since I got my weighted blanket, oh, by the way, that's a great stuff. It kind of like feels weird. It's kind of really heavy. And, but my Fitbit is tracking my sleep, and it jumped immediately to double the recovery. So I'm twice as much having deep sleep than I had before, just overnight. But Safi used to sleep on me, and that's 6-7 pounds on top of like this, like, I mean, 15 pounds. That's kind of like feeling really, really heavy. So I'm chasing her away. So she's a little bit ticked off with me. So fire, 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 fire. Let's see my Leo. I honestly don't like Leo in me, because that's when my ego is probably at the highest, kind of like that pride. Yes, Barbie, thank you guys. Please hit the like button. Leo, 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 Leo. Am I doing the right thing? Yeah. Why am I doing Leo? I'm supposed to do fire. Okay. I'm just completely confused today. Fire. 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 Well, it was a beginner's lab, sleeping better. I just cannot fall asleep until 4 o'clock in the morning. That's why I'm like all over the place today, because it's still the problem sleeping normal hours as the other people. Okay, fire. Look at that. Fire. You have 3 of Wands, Ace of Cups, and 4 of Pentacles reversed. So, fire, you are really probably eyeing something. You might have a friend. You might have a situation where certain walls have been established. Right? Because this is always my card, the walls. Look at how protective he is. But it could be these walls are coming down, which is really, really interesting here. And I kept being channeled by that Leo. And Leo is, Leo's card is Strength, which is number 8. And look at this, 4, 5, 8. So it is kind of like that new zest, a new strength that I see in this particular reading. It is possibility, if you guys looking for a new romance, that you're going to meet somebody. And as I said, it might not be completely defined. You might meet somebody who is going through things, or that might be you, who is going still through kind of like removing walls brick by brick, kind of some circumstances. And this online dating used to be a good idea, but right now seems to be a collection of broken people. So that's probably not the best way to go about it. But this is my card of ships. So going in different directions. It could be friendship, it could be a partnership. So that's what I'm saying. I don't really think that's going to be something online over there. That's going to be rather a regular life, that maybe a friend who was just a friend who you never had an interest like him in is all of a sudden kind of have some kind of like spark. Or it's going to be just, you know, just going in a cafe, and you know, you're going to be with your group of your friends and going to be a group of other people, and just it's going to happen in a more natural way. For those of you who are like thinking about somebody, you know, there is like definitely this kind of like looking in the distance, and maybe there is somebody in the distance about possibly communicating. We are still in the Mercury retrograde, so it could be possibility of exes coming back. So this Ace of Cups, and there you go. You know, House, Sorrow, and Lover, clarifying this Ace of Cups for fire. Some messages from somebody clearly. Somebody maybe being remorseful, somebody being regretful, Be very careful, because looks like you're going to maybe take your walls down now when I see this bigger picture as a result of this. But this also could mean, as I just saying, that you're going to meet somebody who is still freshly out of relationship and still emotionally affected. I can see both ways. Okay, now let's start with Leo, since was already on my mouth. Okay, Leo. Oh my gosh, there is like cutting off energy. Queen of Swords reversed. Not fun card, but it's clearly to me, just as I was saying, like you just like stop talking at some point when you're all talked out, you have nothing else to say, you're not seeing things improving, and it just like climb up. But she also cuts things off, kind of like off you go. Let's see what else. There are like these love arrows. It's kind of weird. Like, why are cutting somebody off? Like, you know, it kind of does make sense. Like somebody's chasing after you are gone. It looks like that way. So, but you are so done with it. There is like this some new direction. Yeah, maybe somebody is going to send you love messages, but somebody who has hurt you in the past, right? Because look at it, that's the healing energy of 11 over here. And again, 8 kind of like again relates to your own sign. That's kind of like really, really interesting. Maybe this is also sign that you want to go both forward and backward to some kind of like essence, because after all, we are still in a Mercury retrograde shadow, where you kind of like want to communicate and find some information, but then this is not going to end well. So it actually can be seen in many ways, but I really think what is really crucial over here to understand that there could be some kind of like past things resurfacing, and you might actually go through sadness. It's kind of weird. You're going to go both through enthusiasm and excitement and sadness, but I really think this is done here in order for you to heal, in order to take these walls down, because something is still buried inside, and it is kind of like infesting and festering, right? So it is time to let this go. So Leo, light. Yes, light. Look up, don't look down. Like you really need to take this, try to see. It's kind of weird advice that I'll give it to you, but try to see when you're sad that you start laughing, and just try to find something funny, or have comedies ready, something that you're going to watch just to distract yourself. You're training your brain to actually be your servant in that direction versus being your boss, and kind of like light-hearted approach, and possibly being in the light, because also the Sun card is representing your sign. So maybe being outside, spending time and watching this light is going to maybe heal, because as you know, the Sun vitamin, the D vitamin, is absolutely helpful for any depression, and this card is the gloomy and depressed card, that's for sure, and that's kind of like the antidote over there. So who's next? Let's go with Aries. Aries. 2 of Wands reversed. Aries. Knight of Swords. It's very strange. Oh, there it is. Aries, kind of like weird. From something is not being built. It's kind of like weird, because this card is a precursor to this one, and it is reversed. So you're still going into something that has happened in the past. Maybe somebody's arriving, maybe it could be air sign, or some kind of like harsh conversation. It's not going to raise your hair to have it. And whether this is you again, just like, I don't care, I used to try to kind of develop it and didn't try to kind of like move forward, or I'm trying to move forward, there is like this defensiveness kind of like protecting somebody's heart, but no more. This kind of like looks to me like it's going to be some kind of finality for you. It almost like sounds like that even if somebody comes from the past, you're just going to have your say and just cut them off, and almost like that you're hoping for them or to say something like that, and then you can just like do that. So this is going to be really difficult, or vice versa. It's almost like, you know, sometimes people try to reach closure, but like with you, this is kind of like leave me alone kind of a moment. It can be really harsh energy, but for some reason this is like really closing the energy of the past for you in this particular week. So let's see. Aries, efficiency, again efficiency. So who was that? That was Gemini. So yeah, this is pretty efficient, I have to tell you. This is kind of like, get away from me, and that's it, click. That's going to feel like that. You're going to have really, really edgy week ahead, I do have to tell you. So instead of being edgy, how about you figure out what you want and prepare yourself for it, and that way you can actually weed out the bad from good and focus to the good, because aggression and sadness are two sides of the same coin. So this is kind of like really important to understand that, because I see this both, right? I see the sorrow here, I see the sorrow here, but I see here the anger, which is probably pushed with some kind of like buttons that caused sadness previously. So lastly we have Sagittarians, Saggies. Wow, Ace of Wands. Something new starting, some kind of like sexy times, Sagittarians. Saggies. Look at this. The Sun. Okay, Sagittarians, are you recovering from something? Look at this. This is 1, this is 10, this is 10. So this is 1, 1, 1, guys. And then we have the 1 here. So 1, 1, 1, 1, Sagittarius. Like, this is a year number 11. This is a really big reading for you guys. Look at this, like darkness, sun. And the sun is really coming out here as well. So you're going in a new direction in spite of some kind of hurts, and this could be with the Leo, and this could be with an air sign as well, and or it has this kind of like energy, and it is something about children, it is something about this new beginnings, it is like something about destiny really catching up over here. Maybe you are going forward in spite of all hurts. Maybe you're healing hurts with help of somebody, because this ace is definitely second chances, kind of like new beginnings, new fresh things, but also a very kind of like sensual and sexual part. It's kind of like brightness and openness, and it looks to me it could be clarification of things. This is kind of like really good, because yes, we do see sorrow here, but we also see this kind of like huge emotional sunny impact. This is really probably one of the best cards in this entire deck. So that's going to be really, really interesting. So let me just clarify that Ace of Swords for Sagittarians. Room. Room is a very, very, very important card, and it doesn't show much. What do we see here? We see 1 chair, we see 1 table, we see 1 lamp. So what the hell the room is? We bring to room people who are close to us, right? We don't invite strangers to our home, and this is definitely talking about everything is being set up here. We kind of like want to do that, so it's nicely decorated room, and that's definitely our private space, but there is like no one in the room but the empty chair. And this is like, to me, symbolizing some kind of like anticipation or waiting for somebody to arrive or to occupy this. Also, the windows here are closed, So it's blocking out anything that is outside. Maybe it's isolating those who are in the room. So that's kind of like really interesting. So maybe it's kind of like separating past from the future, right? Because this card definitely to me talks about intimacy between lovers, just like this Ace of Wands, and love or sex and privacy, and sort of like a meeting between family members or friends. And that can also mean if you guys are going to any kind of gathering this particular week, it could be really a new beginning for you, and maybe something that has burdened you will be finally released, and you'll be able to reach possibly a new level of intimacy. One thing that Aquarians and Sagittarians have in common is we both have a difficulty being vulnerable, so hence we are not really talking or even admitting certain things that maybe we have difficulty facing or talking about. And it looks like you might be able to overcome that this week. Let me see. Discernment. What the hell does this mean? Yeah, I guess it does, because it has this kind of like path. Which way do I go? It's just like here. It's almost like that is a fire, that is air, very high energies in both directions. So which way do I want to go? You're going to again say to yourself, look, you know, I have done certain things to me so many times, and maybe, you know, I shouldn't really go in this direction. It is kind of like really time to either fess up or reach clarity or reach this like new stage, because this is definitely one new beginnings of some kind of like sort, new beginnings where something traditional didn't work, and it's maybe time to kind of like really kind of like be reborn, as you can see it over here, and kind of like raise again. There is like this innocence, there is this happiness, but this is definitely also connecting with the past. There is like something that is resurfacing in order for you to clear certain things, but also to move forward with another things. So that's kind of like what is really interesting here. So guys, we are at the end of the reading. So did Dean, have you reached your decision? Because I didn't follow through as much. Look, it's 11111 that I just looked, and when I asked that, it was just right on my screen. Jesus, that's freaky. So you must be lots of Sagittarians over here. So Kathy, best wishes. Okay, so Dean, how come whenever I ask, everybody disappears? Last week I didn't even see that Lati decided, and now Dean is nowhere to be found. Dean, hello. Dean, he's gone. So where did he go? Where did he go? Yes, I did, Earth. Dean, if you're not there, I'm going to get somebody else to do that. Okay, I'm going to call one more time. If he's not there, I'm going to call a different moderator. It's going to be Temperance Rising. Okay, Temperance Rising. Please make a decision. Who is going to win a 15-minute free reading with me? This person will have to put their name over here. This must be a sign. Dean is gone. Something. There it is, Dean. Come on, you choose who you chose. Sorry. Temperance Rising, you're the next week then. Dean fell asleep. That's how much he's paying attention to me. Okay, so I don't know where I'm going. Must be better than it was. Dean, come on. Come on, people are just waiting for you. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Yes, guys, you complete to Dean. Dean, you could have Tori. Oh, he did. Tori, please. Tori, are you there? Tori? Okay, Tori, put your email right here so I know which one you are. just please write it in so we know, and that way after that please email me through that email as well. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yes, please put your email over here. I know it's a little bit out in the open, but we have to know that, you know, that I'm not giving somebody else. I guess Dean probably got hiccups and a little kind of like Pepto-Bismol. Tori is here. Yes, Tori is here. There it is. Tori dear. Tori dear, please send me an email to Mr. Catero. It is like over there. And I'm going to send you, actually I can give you right now, the form to fill out. And just put there, send me a pay link. I know you're not going to get a payment, don't worry. You just like, I don't have a form for contest yet. My brother was on vacation. So congratulations, Tori. And I'm going to put here, we have a winner, so people can see it. And the next time, Temperance Rising is going to be the moderator who is going to make a decision, and the moderator that is going to get a reading is Lati, and then in 2 weeks I'm going to pick somebody else. So thank you guys very much to all of you who have been here with me this morning, and thank you to everybody, Stephanie, for your donation. I really greatly appreciate that. And I am coming up with monthlies next week. Yes, really kind of like I'm looking forward to that, because September is usually feeling like a new start to so many. Look at Tori, I'm so cute. You're so cute. Thank you, Barbie. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Maria, Kathy, Dean, all my moderators for being here. So here you go. I'm going to leave a music with you, and I'm going to talk to you in Facebook, Instagram, and then I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. And the next time, it's the next chance to win. Love you. Thank you, everybody. Love you. See you next Saturday.